So here we are, first impressions on the 2024 Head Speed MP Auxetic 2.0. I actually hit the most recent head speed pretty recently, just at the end of summer when that US Open version came out. And as we know, it's just not been my favorite racket. I didn't feel like it really excelled in any category, and it was just kind of like solid or decent all around. And then the other thing is, I've not loved a lot of these Auxetic updates, but for some reason I actually did groove pretty quickly on court with this new speed, and it seems to me like they're really going in a new direction with this Speed MP, and a lot of that I think is based on Jannick Sinner, which I am all about. I won 90 bucks in my betting pool on Sinner, so I'm pretty high on that guy right now. So I think this new speed with this higher 330 swing weight, you pick this thing up and you kind of feel more like Sinner. Because it's still pretty light, 300 grams, it's still easy to generate a lot of racket head speed, but it really plows through the court and you can get a lot of like ripping whip through the ball backed up by a bunch of plow through. So I think that's great. And I think with this new speed, Head is kind of taking things up market. They're going, okay, let's get some more advanced players, some bigger hitters using this new Speed MP. One of the reasons I haven't liked it in previous generations is it just felt like such an all-arounder, so accessible, which, okay, why is that a critique? Well, it doesn't deliver the kind of heaviness of ball that I want from a racket for my game. So I'm always having to add weight. I felt like the string pattern is pretty open 16-19. I had a hard time controlling it, especially with, as they were bringing down that RA, it wasn't super predictable. But I think part of that is because I was using the wrong string choice. Often when I worked at courtside when I was demoing, Hawk Touch was the string of choice, which is a pretty soft round poly. Restring 0, for me, not the string to use in that racket. Even really kills the feel, so you end up with this super disconnected and pretty launchy setup. When I tried Luca's demo, you might recognize that guy I'm hitting with. It's Luca from Rackets and Runners. We play tennis together now. That was strung with Lynx Tour, and I think that is a great setup for this new speed. It kind of counteracts a lot of that super flexible, kind of semi-noodly feel that we're seeing in these Auxetic 2.0 updates, where you get this huge amount of almost artificial ball pocketing. Lynx Tour really firms things up, gives you that spin from that edge, but kind of adds a lot of consistency to the string bed, which was something I missed in previous versions. So I think now, and part of that is string choice, these new speeds are more consistent, which I like. So I have something I need to say that I didn't really make to the final cut of the video, and I don't really know where to gracefully add it, so I'm just gonna ungracefully cram it in with cell phone footage. The specs on this new Speed MP kind of remind me of this racket, which we all know, like, this is an absolute gem. So it's a racket that a lot of like hardcore Aero people have been chasing. It's the Aero Pro Drive Original. It's not very often that you get a mainstream 100 square inch racket, 300 grams, that has like a 330 swing weight. That's what you got with this when Rafa was on the come up, and now we're seeing that with Jannick Sinner too. So that's kind of exciting to me. Direct Tennis is going through a huge update. They're calling it Direct Tennis 2.0. So we're seeing some big additions to this little community-oriented, community tennis-driven app. We've got big news here for sole proprietors. If you've ever really wanted to take your tennis business up a notch and bring even more value to your customers than just stringing, you can now do that with the Direct Tennis app. So super exciting. I don't know anyone out there who's really linking passionate individuals, trying to bring them together and really create a strong online tennis community better than Direct Tennis. So if you want to help TennCom thank Direct Tennis, please check out the links in the description below where you can download the app, iOS or Android, or check out their website. You still get a lot of dwell time on the string bed, which I think a lot of previous users of the Speed are gonna like that too. but now it's just so much easier to hit a really big ball. I felt like right away I knew what I needed to do on my forehand to be aggressive. The racket is really forgiving off center too. Like on defense, it was easy enough to get the tip around and hit the ball back into the court. These changes are all things that I really like for my game. I don't think that the general population and previous Speed MP users are really gonna like this racket. I think this demographic has really swapped from this is an easy to use all-rounder that, you know, even someone who's maybe using a Clash who now wants more control can use a Speed. They can't do that anymore. Now these speeds are like more, okay, you use a pure Aero, now you can use a Speed MP. Or you use a pure Aero 98, but you need something more comfortable, now you can use a Speed MP. You use a pure Strike 98, 1619, and you need something maybe a tiny bit lighter for more racket head speed and more comfortable, more connected, now you can use a Speed MP. This racket feels way more like it's designed for winning matches, and I think that is a great move by Head from a marketing perspective, because they're going to be able to put Jannick Sinner on this head card. Yes, I know he didn't use the paint job for his Australian Open victory, but people are going to be able to go into the store, say, I want to demo the Speed MP because of Jannick Sinner. They'll be able to take it to the court and they'll think, I feel like I can play like Jannick Sinner with this racket. It's still super fast through the air for a 330 swing weight racket because it's lighter, but it delivers such a heavy punch that it's so much easier to access power and court penetration now than it has been since probably the Graphene touch speed, which is, as we know, Sinner's actual racket that he adds a little bit of weight to. So really like this speed update. I think for strings, you're gonna wanna stay with something stiffer. I think Grapplesnake strings would play great. If you want something a little bit softer feeling than Link's touch, Grapplesnake Tour Sniper would play great. It is a softer string, but it's pre-stretched, so you're not gonna get as much elasticity, which leads to a super consistent response off the string bed, which I think you absolutely need to kind of pair with that Auxetic flex. That means stiffer, more control-oriented, super consistent playing strings, plus this Auxetic ball flex means you're not getting really inconsistencies off the string bed, but you're still getting a lot of ball feel, a lot of ball pocketing. I think Tour M8 would play great in here too. I would probably avoid softer, more elastic strings with this setup. Again, I think this speed is going more towards advanced players, so a lot of the strings from Tourline, which are more muted, a little bit more plasticky feeling and softer, I don't think that's the way to go. I think you want like a tour level, firm, ultra consistent string setup for these new speeds. I'm really excited about this update, as you can tell. I wish I could bring you a more full review, but I'm not able to get my hands on the new speed yet. I had to beg Luca to hit with me and bring that thing along. Fortunately, Head does not have a new speed for me to do a full review on until April, so I'm not sure if that's going to even happen at that point. Maybe it will. We'll see. The other thing that I tested when I was hitting with Luca was I got a look at the new Pure Strike. So the Pure Strike is much improved over previous versions. I think the feel is way better. I love this beefy swing weight. The Pure Strike that I hit had a 333 swing weight, and that thing hit a heck of a heavy ball. First impressions on that you can find in two different places. One, I'm gonna upload my first impressions for the Pure Strike 98 16x19 to our membership page, which is gonna be in a similar style to this video. And also, if you wanna sign up for our new email list, I'll put a link in the description. Through that email list, you'll get a bunch of great stuff. I wanna give you a little bit more variety in terms of my reviews. Right now, it's pretty much only on YouTube, and I try so many different tennis products that I can't make a video on all of them to the kind of quality that I want, but I still have things to say, and I know a lot of you are still curious on the kind of products that are coming in and out the door here at TennCom. So if you want to see like mini written reviews straight to your inbox, you can find them there. I'm going to provide some behind the scenes content if you've ever wanted to know what it's like to, you know, work with some of these racket brands, what it's like to do prototype testing for string companies. And I want to offer you some sneak peeks on a lot of the exciting projects that Simon, Ali, and I are working on. We've got a lot of big things planned for 2024. We really want to take TennCom into its next phase as a business. So there are going to be some changes, but I promise they're going to be exciting. We want to deliver higher quality content, more diverse content than ever before, and really bring you the kind of unique, science-backed, entertainment-forward tennis content that I think TennCom does as well as anybody. So that's just me. Sorry I kind of sucked in this video. I've had the flu for like 2 weeks. I have a lot of leg weakness now, so I was not running for a lot of balls against Luca, but man, that guy hits hard, so it's hard to keep up with him. That, I think, is pretty much all for this. If you have any questions about the new Speed MP, you want to know how it compares to a different racket, leave your comment below and I'll make sure to get to you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you